You wouldn't be sitting there dismissing a literal genocide that is happening that you're making light of.
I'm not making light of shit, Aminder. I've done sat here and I've told you like at least 6 times during these conversations.
Do you know why I didn't hand over that VC to you?
Genocide.
Do you know why I didn't hand over that VC to you? Because of the way that you've been dealing with this Gaza situation. You've been playing light on it. I've brought up and I've showed you photos of exactly what is happening, how it has absolutely nothing to do with a Vegas 2.0, right? It is a literal hyperbole of what actually needs to happen, which is step 0, providing food, basic necessities to people while a ceasefire occurs. So that way a negotiation can happen so we could reduce the overall amount of deaths. You're making light of it.
There's a whole lot of people, and my profile picture is obviously just me, you know, making light of something that probably shouldn't be, but, you know, Trump's an idiot, in my opinion. I don't like him. He screwed me over already.
I'll go ahead and share the profile picture just for everybody to see. Give me a moment. This is their profile picture that they decide to don. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't necessarily agree with him on just about anything right now, but I do find it interesting where some of the Republicans are coming from right now. So with all the things that are going on, knowing that a lot of what he's doing is bad, regardless of where you fall on, you know, wherever you fall politically. They're tripling down on it. So as a joke, I put my profile picture as Trump Gaza, and you know, playing along on the bit of what it is that they truly think that Trump knows what he's doing, and I find it hilarious because I find it very hard to even attempt to agree with everything that he
Why did you cling to like probably one of the grossest things Trump has done, such as the Trump Gaza thing? Like out of everything that you could like kind of cling to, it's like that's probably one of, because like you're making light of a genocide, right? Like imagine like here we are, you know, 1939, and it's like, you know, we're making fun of, like, I don't know, maybe you have a picture of the Jews being thrown into ghettos. By the way, if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing right now. I'm a really small YouTuber and I'm really just trying to build up. And I really think that I'm going to be making more content, and you're going to just see not just debates, but as well as content like this. So stay tuned to find out.
I'm not necessarily seeing the correlation there. Can you explain to me?
Yeah. So the Gaza. So what's going on in Gaza is currently a genocide.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and so and so was Hitler's agenda. It was a genocide.
Yes, and
right.
where did?
And I'm saying you're making light out of the genocide. Right?
But where did the ghetto come into this?
Oh, because the Jews in Germany were forced into ghettos, so that way they could later liquidate them.
Oh, okay.
And by liquidate, they would shoot them.
Okay. So, I mean, I guess I came to the conclusion to pick Trump Gaza, not based off of how horrendous it was, but I picked it because it didn't make any sense to me. So, I picked the thing that made absolutely no sense, that I couldn't understand whatsoever, as I guess the best lurking point that I possibly could. Because if someone was to agree with that, there'd be no question in your mind whether they actually support Trump or not.
But
which,
why,
you know,
why are you donning it though? You're saying you don't agree with it, but you're donning that picture like as if it's a joke. Like I don't find what's going on there to be much of a joke.
I mean, do you think that that Trump is anything more than a joke?
I mean, he's president now. I would say
that is
he's
true.
very dangerous.
That is true, but
Like
I
it's
mean,
not like a
I
clown
find
where
him
it's
a
like we
joke.
can all sit down and laugh at him, right? Like the problem is that this has very long lasting negative implications that will affect us for years.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I just wish I could talk about the things that happened to me, but it is very hard to talk about.
Well, now's your chance.
No, no, no. Seriously, I really, really, really can't. It kills me. Anyways, but the thing the thing of it, I guess all is that I'm having a hard time doing the lurking anymore. The more and more he talks, the more and more he does. I want you to do yourself a favor real quick, Amender. I want to see if you can attempt to, okay? Pretend you're a Trump supporter and give me 5 talking points and see if you can at least even convince anybody that you agree with them.
Um, well, listen here. It's just going to hurt for a little bit, and then Trump's going to make it all right. It's growing pains. Hadn't you ever heard of growing pains? This is part of the growing pains. First, the economy's going to do bad, but then later, the economy's going to do good. Did that convince you?
You didn't convince me, but it was fucking funny. Well, see, but that's the thing, though. It's very hard to actually convince anybody that you support this guy, and I find it crazy whenever I find people that actually do. So I'm actually on the conclusion that if you support Trump right now, after everything he did, if you support him before the election, whatever. But if you support him right now, I don't believe you. I believe deep down you really don't, and you're just doubling down.
Why are you donning that sign?
Because it's irony. It's ironic. It's ironic that
bro. Would it be ironic? Like, I don't even have to bring up the like. Like, do you really think that, like, if I, for example, had do you think it's cool, like, if some like it's funny if somebody, say, has like a Mao a Mao symbol over them, or I'm sorry, like a picture of Mao Zedong forcing farmers to work, and then it just, like, maybe I'll just have like that as propaganda. Do you think like that would be good to have for like a profile picture, or would you think that's offensive?
You think that's equivalent?
Maybe not in terms of death, but it's definitely equivalent in the sense that it's a genocide.
Well, I'm saying in regards to the agenda, what Trump wants to do, regardless what is happening to Gaza.
I'm saying Trump Gaza, like, that's like it's incredibly insensitive, right? It's completely.
Well, it may be insensitive to an extent, I suppose, but I guess the problem with it all is that, do we actually know what the agenda of Trump Gaza actually is, or was it?
Yeah, I think he wants the glass Gaza.
You think, or know? Was this something that
he's
said?
doubling down on his support. He's doubling down on his support. Somebody is asking you in comments, who did this guy vote for? They're asking.
Who did I vote for?
Yeah.
I could not vote. And by that, I don't mean old enough. I'm saying that I just thought both of them was stupid. I didn't think that Trump would have done what he did. If I could go back with the same knowledge that I know now, I would have voted Kamala Harris. And that still hurts to say, because I really don't like Kamala Harris either.
What if I, for example, I had like some, I have maybe like a profile picture that says, join Joseph Stalin's happy camp. You think that's offensive in any way?
I'm sure it would be offensive, I suppose.
Like, pretty poor taste, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
So why are you wearing that, I guess?
Well, because I'm unaware of what the agenda is.
But Donald Trump
So-
did the AI video.
And that's where I got this from. Exactly. The AI video is the reference here.
Yeah.
And the AI
so
video.
we do know what Donald Trump wants to do.
Well, hold on. The AI
wants to do
video. Okay, so hold on. But what happens to the Gazans?
They get pushed away.
Pushed away where?
I don't know.
To a safer place where they're not being genocided?
Doubtful.
Doubtful?
Yeah, doubtful.
You think they'll still be
Yeah, he's
genocided wherever
tripling
they
down
get
his
pushed to?
support of Netanyahu. So yeah, genocide.
So in a hypothetical, okay, that he was gonna move them to a place where they wouldn't be genocided anymore, would you be in more support of that?
If he was not going to genocide, or be in
No, that's not
support
what
of
I said.
genocide,
I said in the instance where he makes Trump Gaza and he moves them, right? He moves them to a place where they wouldn't be genocided. Would you be in support of this?
no.
So you are in support of them staying and being genocided?
No, I'm in support of letting them stay in their homeland.
And be genocided?
No.
Well, they're being genocided now, so
yeah.
I mean,
so like what you
what's
do
the
is that when
solution
you have
here?
people in their homeland, you don't genocide them. Like
Donald Trump genociding them? I would assume not, right?
no.
Okay, so then that has nothing to do with Donald Trump.
I'm saying that Donald Trump wants to support Netanyahu even harder than Joe Biden did.
Okay.
And he posts an AI video wanting to turn Gaza into a Vegas 2.0, which is incredibly insensitive and completely lacks the understanding and nuance. You saw the starvation videos. Yeah, you still don that.
Okay, so let me ask you another question then. If Donald Trump was to make Trump Gaza a place for the Gazans to live in like a better place to live, and they get a stay, would you be in support of that? We make it into a casino. They get profit
like
off
we
of
help
the
them out?
casino.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
perfectly in favor of that. But I mean, first let's
Okay.
start with step 0, where we like give them food and stuff. Like I don't really want to make any profit on them. I just want them helped.
Well, seems like you're for somewhat of Trump Gaza.
No,
If that was the agenda, would it not be that you would be in
but
support
that's
of
not
that?
the agenda. You and I both know that. You just gave a hypothetical.
You
that
don't.
is not
You
the
don't
agenda.
know the agenda. I don't know the agenda. This
What-
could be the agenda. We may be talking about what is going to happen.
Yeah, he's made it clear that he's tripling down in his support of Netanyahu. So he's very
Well,
much in
I'm
favor
under-
of the genocide.
You asked me why I'm using it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is the reason.
Well, I'm saying it's
because
horribly insensitive.
Well,
like
it's
you
not
shouldn't
because
have it.
I'm under the impression that that they're going to be able to live in a better place in Gaza, where they are able to get profits from this casino that they're able to run themselves.
All right.
So if that's the case, that's what I support. These it seems like they're gonna be living a way better life.
Oh, by the way, Lily James is saying, make Gaza Trump City. Lily James saying, first offender wants Gazans to starve. Trump will feed them. Well, I would say that we would want to feed them, but he actually cut off all aid and support towards the Gazans. So no, actually, other way around, the starvation is exacerbated because of Donald Trump. But that's neither here nor there. But also Netanyahu would also have a say in that. They are specifically going against. They're basically providing food to show that they have like photos that they are providing food, but it's not enough food. And there's independent reports from the WHO that show this to be the case. But even Donald Trump wants to dismantle the WHO, and he pulled out of the WHO as a United States interest. So this is just an example of terrible policy that has been placed. The reality is that Lily James, you're saying that the first offender wants Gazans to starve. No, that would be Donald Trump, and Trump will not feed them. It's actually the exact opposite. But hey, you know what? I mean, if you disagree, my phone number is right there. Do you see it right there? 202-998-5218. Yeah, you can call that.
I do want to point out something though, Amender. If why I support them is right, you would then support me if it was right, right? Like you would support me wearing this Trump Gaza if I was right
I
about
suppose
the
so, but you're not right about this.
you don't know that,
I do know
and
that.
I don't either.
I do know that.
Well, yeah.
Trump has made it very clear he's perfectly okay with glassing Palestinians. Right?
I'm just saying.
In his direct support of Netanyahu and all of his moves. Midnight Shadow says, isn't there videos of Gaza City filled with shawarma stands and other food stands? No, that's not the case. I mean, right now, I'm sure there's probably some areas that have food, but no, there is mass starvation. I can provide that information.
I don't know. I want these people to get help. I want America to receive some benefit off of Trump Gaza too. I think that there could be benefit for both of us. I think that if you don't support what I suggested, I would argue that you would, do what you suggested, which would be that they would starve.
World news. Looks like March 5th of 2025. Israel's cutoff of supplies to Gaza sends prices soaring as aid stockpiles dwindle from the AP. I'll go ahead and provide that in side chat. There it is. Israel's cutoff of food, fuel, and medicine and other supplies to Gaza's 2 million people has sent prices soaring and humanitarian groups into overdrive trying to distribute dwindling stocks to the most vulnerable. The aid freeze has imperiled the progress, and aid workers say that they have to stave off famine over the past 6 weeks during phase 1 of the ceasefire deal Israel and Hamas has agreed to in January. Do you need more? I mean, do I need to really break this down further, or is this kind of seems to follow? Yeah, and can you acknowledge that there's currently a lack of basic humanitarian aid in Gaza? Can you acknowledge
Absolutely.
that?
Getting ready to address it.
All right. So, do you think that having something like promoting the video Trump Gaza, do you think that that's even remotely appropriate when we're talking about famine?
I think that if what I'm saying is right, then it would be completely relevant and it would be humane.
You also aren't even aware if that would ever happen. You yourself have already admitted that. I know that that's not the case for a fact, but you seem to be up in the air about it. But if you're saying that nobody can actually know, that would mean that you also don't know. So actually,
well, yeah.
It's
so,
a 50-50.
So actually,
even by your metric, it's a 50-50 as to whether or not this is ineffectual or if it's like super offensive.
So let me ask you a question. Was you 100% knowing that everything Kamala Harris wanted to do was going to happen? 100%? Or was you 50-50 on some of the things they were saying was going to happen? I mean, they're a politician,
No, I mean,
right?
all of her policies seem
they're
pretty
a politician,
reasonable
aren't
and
they?
logical.
But they're a politician, aren't they?
Also,
Like,
this has nothing to do with Donald Trump
it
and
does,
his
because
actions,
if
and
you're
just
gonna bash me for what I throw, if you're gonna
no,
bash me for
what you're
throwing-
doing is you're doing this amazing thing, right? That basketball players do. It's called a pivot, right? You're pivoting right now to shift the blame away, right? But the reality is that
it's not
you
blame away, I'm
having that logo is completely indefensible.
No, but I do have a
All right,
question.
well, then explain it.
That I wanted
Defend
to,
the logo
I've
that
already
is in
have.
favor of this genocide.
Oh, it's not in favor of the genocide. It's actually the opposite. And by the way, PZH put an interesting thing out there, which I think we should take a look at. He said, "Why not move them to a place where they will get food?" To me that sounds kind of logical.
Well, they
like,
did
why,
have a
why
place
bring
where
the
there was food. It was called Gaza. They had food there. Right.
Uh-huh.
And then we decided to
how's that
go
going?
after them after the October 7th attacks. Don't get me wrong. Hamas is a terrible organization, should be destroyed. But that doesn't mean, therefore, let's go ahead and enact a campaign specifically by Netanyahu where he decided that he's going to cause as much damage to civilian civilian property in order to get them to turn on Hamas. That's unironically what the strategy is.
Well, I just I don't. To be fair, I really don't think you acknowledged what I said, or well, of what they said anyways. They're wanting to move them to a place where they can get food.
All
Is
right,
this a bad thing?
Okay, so let me then ask PZH this. PZH, can you come on up? Can I invite you?
Hello.
All right, PZH. What country are you in?
UK.
UK. Okay. So I bomb and glass your entire country. Everything is bombed. Every single thing, right? And now what we're going to do is we're going to move you from the UK and you get to live in elsewhere. Ireland, say. Sound cool?
Well, why did you bomb and glass my country?
Oh, I just
Why
don't
did
like you.
bomb and glass my
Just
country?
don't like you. You know, just get rid of you. You know,
Do you not think that's a bit like
Too
a
white,
conspiracy theory?
maybe. No, I'm just giving you a hypothetical. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's a
Yeah, I don't accept
it's a hypothetical.
Sorry.
You don't deal with
Right.
hypotheticals. You don't deal in things that require you to actually figure out your own epistemology. Are you serious?
Well, if you are going to use a hypothetical, at
Yeah,
least
I'm
something
using an example,
that's-
right? Like we don't have to use a real life example. We could just like play with the factors at play, right? So an example is, let's say, for example, you decided to attack Ireland with a small attack, killing 300 people, and then Ireland decided to glass and bomb the hell out of your entire country. It is now glassed and bombed. There's nothing left. There's no cities. There's no nothing, right? It's literally just rubble. And now the Irish are saying, well, listen. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move all you out, right? Because that's a valid solution, isn't it? Where there is food.
Yeah, if we attack first, yes, that is a valid solution.
I mean, like, you think that like killing 300 people would be equivalent to what, millions of people?
Well, if we started the war, we lost the war. We don't
No,
get to
there's no
decide,
start of a war. It would have been a terrorist attack, right? But I wouldn't say that, hey, that gives you option to just have a giant war where you can kill as many as you want, right? I don't think that's justified. I'm saying that we're physically moving, like the Irish are now physically moving all of the people, all the Brits.
If I can answer your question, so if the UK attacked Ireland in some way, started the war, and then the UK lost, then the UK loses its sovereignty to make these decisions, and Ireland gets to tell the UK what to do.
You don't think that there's okay, so let me get this straight, right? If the Nazis won, right, they would have been justified in telling you what to do.
I don't know, make a new scenario with the Nazis then.
Yeah, that's a
what I
false
can do.
equivalence.
Well, no, I mean, there's a realistic scenario, right? We can do the
That was
realistic scenario.
unfair. Is that what's?
Well, I'm
hold
saying,
on.
well, because
So,
he
is
said,
what's
that
going
it
on?
should really
Are
come.
we Hitler?
No, I'm saying we're
Okay,
gonna.
then.
Well, there was a time where UK got invaded, right, by the Nazis, and so it's like he said, well, if we are victorious, then we have justification. Then it's safe to say then
So
that
that's
if
not
somebody
what I
is
said.
victorious, that you can do
That's
that
not
thing.
what I said.
Okay, then what is your
That's
argument?
not what I said. I said if we started the war and we lost, then we lose sovereignty, and the person who won that war after we started gets to tell us what to do because we lost our sovereignty.
That doesn't really make it right or wrong, though, does it? You're just saying like, hey,
Of
they
course
have
it
the
makes it right.
option, they have the option to say that tell us what to do. All right, fair. That doesn't mean it's right or wrong. Like if the Nazis won and started telling you what to do, that wouldn't make them right, right?
You're not addressing the fact that they started the war.
I'm pointing out.
Yeah.
I'm pointing. Yeah. The Nazis started the war. Right?
The Nazis started the war. They lost, and they lost their sovereignty. Other countries told them what to do.
Yep.
Okay, but that doesn't make it right or wrong, right?
So it wasn't
I think
right
it does
for
make it
them to
right,
tell Nazis.
Oh my fucking god. Okay, so we're getting lost in the weeds. The problem that I'm having here is that we're talking about the Palestinians who have their homeland that would be in Gaza there, and
I'm not
they have
sure.
gotten there was an attack from
I don't think
Hamas,
that's
which
true.
Granted, right, we should do everything in our power to stop Hamas, but we didn't just they didn't just stop Hamas though, did they? They did a lot more than that.
So the problem with what you're saying is that legally, the Palestinians in Gaza are considered refugees. They don't actually have a home.
Well, they did have a home.
Well, I'm not. So I'm just saying.
And then they don't have a home because we gassed them.
Because so if they're refugees,
Sorry,
they're
glassed
not
them.
in their homeland. They're not in their homeland. They're like in a bunch of tents waiting to go home. So they're not in their home.
Well, there is
currently.
no
Now,
home. There's no more home. Home's gone. We're done with the
so
home
if-
part.
if- are they refugees or are they not refugees?
Yeah, they're refugees now. There's no home.
Before, were they refugees or were they not refugees?
They were not refugees. They're now refugees because they have no home.
Well, they were classified as refugees.
What? What is happening?
They were classified
Pre-war?
as
What?
refugees. Pre-war, yeah.
I'm not aware of this. I don't know what you're talking about. You're telling me that Gazan
so all the-
citizens were considered refugees?
Yes, all
It's
the
news to
refugee
me.
camps, all the refugee camps in Gaza were for the refugees. UNRWA was supplying the Palestinians in Gaza because the Palestinians in Gaza were considered refugees.
Okay.
And
well,
not in
I
a
mean, I still feel like we're getting lost in the weeds here. The end result is that I don't agree that that forcefully pushing them off of their land, so that way Trump can build his Vegas 2.0 to be even remotely acceptable. Do you think that's acceptable?
I mean, I can agree that forcefully moving them out of the land, the force part would be bad if they were incentivized to move.
We're bringing boss clips
think
back
they'll-
in. I want to bring boss clips back in, and I want to bring in
Can I just,
and I want to bring in
can-
Aesel. I'll
can I
let you
just
have.
finish
I'll let
my-
you finish it, but I want to bring in Aesel and I want to bring in boss clips. Boss clips, get up here. You started this.
So I would say that if the current situation is pretty bad because of the war, and then they're incentivized in one way or another to move to a better place, and that should be okay.
Do you think that we ought uphold Geneva Convention principles in war?
I don't see how you justify that. Based on what?
The Geneva Convention.
You're talking about 4th Geneva Conventions that
Yeah,
you can
the-
transfer population. Based on what?
The world has to follow that.
So to get 4th Geneva protections, it's basically like a situation where a country.
Well, I'm saying that you don't actively
occupied
attack
another
civilians in times of war.
But
You don't go out of
specifically
your
what you
way
are-
to kill civilians.
So are you asking in a moral sense or in a legal sense?
I'm saying
Like
in
what's
terms
in
of
the
the
book?
Geneva Convention. I mean, that would apply both
yeah,
moral as well as legal.
So I don't see how you can justify the 4th Geneva Convention protections in the case of transferring populations, because that would only apply.
No,
like,
I'm
in the
talking
case
about
of, let's say-
what Israel is doing to
Yeah,
Palestinians.
I'm answering that wouldn't apply.
Why would that not apply?
Wouldn't apply. Because I'm trying to explain. Because that would only apply in a situation where a country invaded another country, occupied its citizens, and then the 4th Geneva Convention would apply because that country is occupying that other country. But Palestine was never a country, so they don't get that protection.
Ah, okay. So we can basically just glass them, right? Because it's not, it's not a real country. Just want to
I'm
be
not-
clear. I want to make sure I
I'm
get.
just-
I want to
I'm
make
just
sure I
trying-
get your
I'm just trying
logic
to be
straight.
clear-
Because
I'm
it's
just
not a
trying
real
to be-
country. We can revoke human rights. Got it.
I think you're putting words in my mouth. I'm just saying they don't deserve those rights.
What? No,
according to
dude.
the
I'm
law.
extrapolating what you're saying into the logical conclusion. It's very simple. Like what? I'm
No,
not
definitely
I'm
putting-
not taking words out of your
You're
mouth.
definitely-
You're saying a crazy
you're
thing. I'm repeating it
definitely-
back to you, and it's insane. Yeah. Like.
Again. So if for example Russia attacks Ukraine and they're telling all the people,
Yeah.
the Russians are telling all the people in the parts they conquered in Ukraine, you have to leave. Like, we're transferring you out. Then the post-Geneva Conventions would apply. But in the case of Palestine,
Well, no. You
so in
said
the
it's
case
not a
of
country,
Gaza,
right?
let's
So
say-
they don't get human rights because they're not a country.
so
right.
in the case
We
in the
can
ca-
we
in
can
the
gla-
case
we
of
can
Gaza,
glass
let's
them
say-
as long as
Let me
they're
just-
not
let me
considered a
just-
country. That's
in the
wild.
case of
dude.
Gaza used
That's
to be
wild.
controlled.
All right. Well,
by-
this. I'll be honest.
Gaza used to be controlled
To
by
avoid me
Egypt.
from vomiting, I'm
back.
gonna let Aesel speak. Go ahead, Aesel.
I don't want to respond to this. So, wait, where did he go? Peace.
Oh,
Because he's a
I moved him
Zionist.
down. I didn't want to vomit.
Yeah, see, because he's a Zionist, and we always have this back and forth with him.
I'm not
not,
like. Here's the thing, right? I'm not even anti-Israel, right? But I am anti-Netanyahu, right? You
Same.
can be in favor of an Israeli state while at the same time condemning Netanyahu's actions. This is not hard.
And within like their dictionary, that's called like anti-Semitism. If you do that,
That's bullshit. Come on.
you're an
Come on. That's not
yeah.
anti-Semitism.
If you don't like Israel, no, yeah. You don't like
it's
Jews.
not.
Anyway,
I literally just said that you can be in favor of Israel. Anyway, that's wild, man. That was really gross.
Yeah.
I can't believe that was even remotely defended.
Mhm.
No. So, what do you think about Boss Clip's logo? What do you think about that?
Yeah, see, with Boss Clip, I don't think Boss Clip has bad intentions when he's like saying Trump Gaza. I think he actually believes like Trump would save Gaza or like would do that. But let me ask Boss Clip this: would you entrust like let's say your treasure or like everything you value to someone you hate the most? You would not.
Even if I liked you, I probably would.
Okay. So how would you entrust, like what do you call this? Like everything Trump wants to do.
I don't like Trump.
No, but like how would you entrust that to like Netanyahu when knowing very much? I can give you like his tweets and all that, calling Palestinians animals. He's saying, hey, like even the children must die. I can give you the rabbi saying it's okay to like rape the woman. I can give you whatever you want. Now,
Yeah.
see, and if you studied any business, like any business model, you will have to know there's something called supply and demand. You know this, I think. There is no demand for a Las Vegas or like Vegas in Palestine right now. There's a huge demand for what? Food and the rights, the human rights. That's what they need most. You want to provide something they're not in need of. You want to displace them in a place where they were like fighting 70 years for to stay there and say, hey, I'm gonna entrust all this to the same person who's been bombing you and killing you all this time.
What choice did they have, Azel? What other place did they have to go other than to fight for this land? If they didn't fight for this land, then they just wouldn't exist. But if we give them an option to exist outside of this land, and you no longer have to fight for this land, or move them to a place to where they're not being genocided, I would suggest that that's the right answer.
No, it's not. It's like the wrong answer altogether, Boss Clip. You cannot move 2-3 million people into like the wild desert and then just fuck the whole other country.
No, that's not what I'm suggesting at all. So
But-
Azel, here, let me put myself in a hypothetical, okay? And then I'll put you in it and let you give your answer after, okay? Is that all right?
Mhm.
So if you and Amender came to my house and you just kept killing all the people in my county, and then you just keep doing it over and over and over again. And then somebody tells me, hey, I'm taking you and I'm moving you to Texas. I'm not going to fucking argue with them. I don't give a fuck it's my land or not. My family matters. And our lives matter. And our generations that we're going to lose if we don't go matters. Way more than this fucking land matters. So I would leave. Now, in the same hypothetical, me and Amender, we go to your county. And we just start killing people left and right. And somebody goes to you and they're like, hey, like, we'll move you over here. You'll have food. You'll have the ability to live. We're going to move you over there. Or you can stay here and let your family and everybody else fucking die. Which one are you picking?
Why are those two like the only options that I have? And why, like, what? That's not even remotely fair. Like,
What is there? Hold on. So
What?
let me ask you something. America doesn't interfere whatsoever, right? Let's say we don't do anything.
Hmm.
What happens to Gazans?
they're gonna do like hopefully, because like there was like this what do you call this meeting with Saudi Arabia to like normalization with Israel before, you know, if they keep the truce for now, you know, without like anything, that can come back to a table, and I think Israeli want that more than most, because that would be very beneficial to them. Normalization with Saudi Arabia and like the other GCC countries would benefit them in the longer run, way better like than the what do you call this Trump's plan, because that would not work. I'm telling you right now, that would not work. In a country filled like in that area in the Middle East, it's all countries who are like against Israel intent. To displace the Palestinians and all that, it just shows you're not with them, and the others will not support you.
I'm not. Listen, this is the problem that I have with people, and it's not you, but specific people trying to tell me that I'm being insensitive or that I'm being an ass. Because Aminder's not the only person to do this. You know, there's been a few others, and say that like I'm this awful person. I
don't
just
think you
want
said
to
you're
see.
an awful
No,
person.
well, no, I did. But I'm also not mentioning just Amender. I'm mentioning several. You know, like I'm referring to several people in the middle of this statement. Like it's not just
Mhm.
Amender.
Mhm.
So like they think I'm this awful person. I only have this opinion right now because I want to see people stop dying and being genocided, and I don't see it happening or stopping any other way other than this. This is the only answer that I see. The only two answers I see this coming out any better than us just not being involved in it whatsoever is we relocate them or we make that land into something that can actually bring them some sort of use or income or something for them to gain some kind of power
Mm.
to have. And other than that, I don't see it going any other way for them. I don't, and to be honest, the people saying this is their land, I find this so crazy. It's their
Mm.
land only if they're able to defend it. If you ain't able to defend it, which I think you Pogu, I think in the side chat mentioned, if you can't defend it, then it's not your land.
Well, so like with that argument, can we just go attack any country, like all the weak countries in what do you call this in Africa? You know,
Can?
like the US can just go and attack. I would even argue and say they can
Yeah,
take Uganda,
he's
Rwanda,
basically just
and
like
Kenya.
arguing in favor of imperialism. Like, hey, let's
Yeah,
bring
you
back
just go
imperialism. It's
kill them
completely,
and
it's
take
I'm
it.
not
Yeah.
arguing in
there's
favor of
there's
anything.
no
I'm
issue with that.
explaining. I'm explaining to you that
Yeah.
that regardless whether it's their land or not, they need to be relocated or we need to do something to benefit them in regards to having some kind of resource or something about Gaza that can benefit these people, because it just being there and them living there is not fucking helping nobody. All it's doing is making them a target to be killed.
And that why I would argue like the what do you call this, like the plan that what do you call this, UAE and Saudi Arabia are trying to do right now is way better and way more beneficial for both Gaza, Israel, and the whole of Middle East.
And what is
It's
that
not
solution, just to be clear?
they want like normalization with Israel, you know, and in the table they like if I'm not mistaken, it will be like to like start. It's gonna be like selling. Wait. Let me Google this because I don't remember like the deal exactly what it was.
I'll pull it up. You said it's a deal between what?
Normalization with Saudi Arabia.
Let me look this up.
Filling the dead air. Hello, everyone. La 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 la.
What's up, Opogu?
What's up? I would love to debate you on this topic or a similar topic, but it's
This
half 2
particular
a.m.,
topic?
so I cannot. I can debate half of it essentially, but I'll get into it with you in DMs or something. I'll text you what I think, and if you disagree, we'll talk about it. Could be an interesting video because I have some slightly different takes.
Okay.
But it's up to you.
So regarding, let's take a look here.
Good luck.
I do want to point out though, Azel, I appreciate you for not saying that I was a horrible person for having the Trump Gaza.
Yeah. See, because it's kind of easy to like just jump
It's
in from the
basically just a
side.
desire to it's basically just a desire to recognize both Israel and Palestine a state.
No, there's like some other like what do you call this like benefit it would like to like economic benefit that I remember, which was like planned to be in 2030, which I don't remember the deal exactly, but I was studying about it way before October 7th.
Lily James says Trump Gaza is great, and and it looks like Omar Peoples is saying you are a horrible person and a genocider. I just think Boss Clips, like, you're just, I just think it's incredibly insensitive to do it, and a terrible judge of character on your end to doing
Think so?
that. Yeah, 100%.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
so because of what I explained. I'm not in favor of genocide.
you don't
I'm actually
you don't
opposed to it.
legitimately believe that Trump is going to suddenly make life a lot better for Palestinians? Are you serious?
I do believe
He has
that they
doubled
will
and
be
tripled down on
relocated.
what Netanyahu's doing.
I truly do believe that they will be relocated. I do think
Okay,
that
well,
is a
I
better
don't
solution.
find that to be a solution.
Well, you can.
A recognition of a Palestinian
okay to-
state would be a solution.
Amender.
Right? So that way they can actually settle, and that, you know, their
If it
statehood
was so
is
easy,
assumed.
why didn't Biden do that?
Well, because I would imagine it's because you're dealing with the two biggest a-holes in when it comes to negotiation. You're
Gotcha.
dealing with
So-
Netanyahu. Like, he's literally one of the, like, as well as the Saudi Arabian prince, which, like, let's be honest, they're not necessarily the most friendly people, right?
Okay. Well, here.
There's also
let's
Egypt
engage
involved,
with
also a
this.
giant a-hole that just
Let's
is more
engage with
interested in their own
this.
ego as
Come on.
opposed to, like, saving their people.
Hold on. Let's actually engage with this because I think this is a really good point now. Do you believe in the Biden administration?
Yes.
Do you? Okay. So would you say that that they would have been able to fix it?
Yeah, I think that they could have established normalization.
They have 4 years to do so. Why didn't they?
They tried. Boss Clips.
Exactly. They tried, and I would agree. They did. They may have.
Effort was made, and Trump is
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
the exact opposite of that.
Okay. So
They're basically
like I said-
giving Netanyahu carte blanche to kill as many Palestinians as he likes.
No, so it's actually interesting. You're right. They may have tried. Okay, so if the Biden administration, which you're saying is superior,
Well, bro,
to,
the problem is that
to
you're
Trump,
talking about people,
well, the
children.
problem is
You're
that I was in
talking
the middle of
about.
speaking.
Oh my God. Go ahead.
So you're talking about someone like the Biden, something like the Biden administration, which you think is superior to Trump, attempting and failing, and then you're wanting Trump, which you're saying is not as superior, to attempt.
It's not just
and
it-
inevitably
it's
would
not.
fail.
It's
So
not just like
now
not as
we have new
superior.
solutions.
It's like a humanitarian disaster, right? And it's only going to be made worse because of Donald Trump's complete disconnection of what is actually happening, such as wanting to make a Vegas 2.0 over instead of feeding people. Like, step zero, bro, is feeding people. That's step zero, right? We're not at the point of, hey, let's make a real estate empire that we can make money on. You understand there's people starving, and you're like, you're making light of it, man. Like, that's what's
so
upsetting to me. That's why I love that at least other people are standing up to you on this. Like, it's completely inappropriate. Completely.
No, so actually, I actually think that's like a misrepresentation of what I was trying to do. By the way, and I do want to point out that if you're saying that this is in bad taste and that this is truly awful and that we should feed these people, Are you also making an attempt to do so?
I don't know what you're trying to argue. You think like should I be delivering food pack? Would that make you automatically wrong if I delivered food packages?
Well, hypothetically.
No, I just want to be clear, right? Like, cause like it, like right now it would be, you're saying it's an argument, given that because I have not directly given aid to Gaza, therefore I'm wrong. Right. Or like it speaks to the fact to the fact that I'm not acting on it. But if I did, I'd be 100% right. Is that how that works? I just want to be clear.
It would make your point more relevant. It would seem like you're actually trying.
So I would
to
be
live up
right
to
as
what
opposed
you're
to
saying.
wrong.
It doesn't have to
Don't
be
worry
one way or
about it.
another.
Right.
Boss
I find this
Clip,
to be a
paid
ridiculous argument.
Boss Clip, don't worry. I paid enough for both me and Amanda. If this
Well,
is
I'm not
like-
arguing two people.
There you go.
I'd
Done.
hope.
Hey, so we're done. We're good.
I mean, I'd hope I'm not 2v1.
He put my name on
I
it.
hope I'm not doing that. Well, if he put your name on it, that would be a 2v1. I wouldn't think that's what you're wanting to do in these debates, right?
Well, it's not really a point. That doesn't really argue the point.
I'm
right?
just saying.
I'm concerned. I'm
hypothetically-
concerned about how flippant you are, or how open you are to this severe disrespect towards all sorts of people. And what it is it's tacitly an approval or to some level of the genocide of these people.
No, it's
right?
not. I've done explained that. You're misrepresenting me.
I don't know how else to.
I do want to point out though, like, if it is truly bad, why not just say that that you're right, I need to do something and donate money to these people that are starving, these children that are starving. Why not just say you're right, I need to do something and help these starving children?
You're all you're doing is shifting your blame. Right?
No, I'm
but
just holding
you
you
know
accountable
you
to
know
what you say.
you know for a fact this is completely indefensible. You know it's indefensible.
I'm asking you to stand by what you say and help these children that are starving.
This is not
If I'm
relevant
so
for the final fucking time, Boss Clips.
You can yell at me, but it still doesn't help.
You think this
It
is
still
funny?
doesn't
You
help.
actually think this is funny?
Boss
That's
Clip, are you
Ace
actually
laughing, not me.
trolling, bro? No, Boss Clip, are you actually trolling, bro? I don't get it. Like, what? You're asking him, hey, if you did not pay from your own money, then I don't think you actually.
No, what I'm saying is he can't call me a
Trolling,
whore.
no.
No,
You-
what
you
I'm
can't-
saying is he's saying that I'm I'm doing this and it's like it's so horrible, but
Holy banana
But yeah,
fork.
he also doesn't support. He also doesn't support them to the extent that he's like trying to make out. It's like if you
What?
truly cared, then you yourself, which I would assume that you have, maybe
You realize, like,
an
if
extra
you
20
didn't
bucks to
have that,
donate to
if
these
you just
children.
had your regular fucking logo, we wouldn't even be having this discussion. You would likely, we would likely be better off, right? You wouldn't be sitting there dismissing a literal genocide that is happening that you're making light of.
I'm not making light of shit, Amender. I've sat here and I've told you like at
me
least
try it
6
this way.
times during these conversations.
Do you know
I've
why I
told
didn't
you,
hand over
I
that
don't
VC to
want
you?
genocide.
Do you know why I didn't
don't
hand
want
over that
genocide.
VC to you?
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
What's going personal? No, we do no. See, see,
Because of
Let's
the
make
way
it-
that you've been dealing with this Gaza situation, you've been playing light on it. I've brought up and I've showed you photos of exactly what is happening, how it has absolutely nothing to do with a Vegas 2.0, right? It is a literal hyperbole of what actually needs to happen, which is step 0, providing food, basic necessities to people while a ceasefire occurs, so that way a negotiation can happen so we could reduce the overall amount of deaths. You're making light of it. You're acting as if it is appropriate to do it. And I find it disgusting. I do. I think it is really gross. It's as if you're sitting there joking about the fact that, like, oh, it's snowing ash more and it's really nice that we can ash our floors when there are Jews burning. You're sitting there making light of it like it's funny. It's not funny.
I don't find it funny. I've told you at least.
And
now
you
7
sitting there
times.
saying that you think that is going to be a benefit to the Gazan people, you're out of your freaking mind, right? It is a complete disconnect from reality, right? And I hate the fact that it's like you literally have kids and you can't even empathize with it. I don't understand. I don't have
do,
kids, but I'm capable of empathizing. Why can't you do the same?
You bring a good point. I do care, and that's why I want them to be relocated to a place where they're not going to be.
Why are you
genocided.
relocating them?
Because if you don't, then they're going to continue to be genocided.
Why are they
You
getting?
Biden
Why?
doesn't show this.
So
Biden
do you
doesn't
think
show
maybe
this. He
we should
tried.
like have less
You're
bombs?
supreme-
Maybe.
You're supreme.
Do you think
fucking
maybe
king
we should try to
tried
cease
for 4
fire?
fucking
Maybe.
years.
Oh my fucking God!
Did Biden
This has
succeed
nothing
at
to
it?
do with Biden or Trump.
Administration
Oh
that
my
you
God.
was fucking voting for still couldn't fucking
I'm done.
do it.
I'll let somebody else. Fucking. This is so infuriating.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Boss clip,
disgusting. It's
Oh,
disgusting.
hold up. Hold up a minute. Boss clip, let me ask you this. First thing first.
Freaking arguing ethnic cleansing. You're fucking disgusting, boss clips. You're disgusting.
You can sit here and say whatever the fuck you want, but your solution is to sit there and let
Yeah,
them
you're
die.
disgusting.
So I
I
don't know
think
what the
you're
fuck you're on
disgusting.
about.
My solution
say
isn't
disgusting.
that for them to die, boss clips.
That is. You're saying
No,
leave
that's
them
not.
there. That's what you're saying.
Did you
You're
not
saying leave
hear
them
what
there.
I said earlier? I said to you, "Hey, let's get a ceasefire going. Let's ensure. Let's talk with the Saudi Arabians. Let's talk with Iran. Let's get the Palestinians on the same board as the Israelis. Let's establish either a one-party solution or a two-party solution, whatever works. Figure it out. Have the United States as a median, and then we can actually resolve the fucking issue, rather
Are
than
you
sitting
under
there
the-
making light over a literal genocide happening right now. It's completely
So
ridiculous.
Are you under the presupposition that Biden didn't try that already?
No, he did not.
God. No, he did not do
You,
that.
you don't. Okay,
not.
so why wouldn't he have done that?
I think he had been dealing mostly with Netanyahu in Egypt at the time.
But
Yeah.
you're suggesting that the Biden administration with Kamala Harris would have.
You're shifting the blame. Take
No,
off
I'm
that
genuinely-
stupid
oh my
profile picture.
God.
Boss clip. Answer me this simple
He
question.
getting a
doesn't
phone call.
engage with anything.
Oh no,
Boss
never
clip.
mind.
Boss clip. Answer me this simple question. If the Palestinians were displaced,
Ridiculous.
are they guaranteed the right to return? No. According to the
No, I would say absolutely they should have the right to return if they was in a
right
place
now-
where it was worse.
No, you would say that. You would.
Yeah, well, yeah. So all this is
Would been-
us just saying this shit because Amender can say we should do this, but is Biden administration wasn't fucking
No.
doing it either.
No,
So
no,
all of us are
Oh
just
my God.
saying I'm
Oh my
saying
God.
this.
Ignore Biden for 1 minute. Ignore Biden for 1 minute. Under the what do you call this? The plan that Trump gave, hey, this Gaza, Trump Gaza and all that. There is nothing there that says they have the right to return. I looked at the at the whole plan. It has nothing to do with the right to return. 1, 2.
Mhm.
You are gonna give the place. See? Look in the side chat. They don't have the right to return. Thank you very much. So,
Okay.
what would happen to them if they don't have the right to return?
I don't know.
I'll tell you what will happen. It's gonna make like a huge what do you call this chaos, for the neighboring country, which is Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, and that will just huge mess in the whole Middle East. Why do that? If you actually want to solve the issue, listen to what Amanda is telling you. Amanda is telling you, feed them, talk peace, not with only Benjamin Netanyahu. No. Add Saudi Arabia and the other GCC, not Iran.
Okay.
Saudi Arabia, the other GCC countries, and that would solve the thing.
So can I ask you a question then?
Very.
So I agree. Let's feed them. Let's talk peace.
Mm.
And this is specific to you. Nobody else jump in, okay? But
Okay.
so after we talk peace, and let's say they say go fuck yourself, then what?
Who would say go fuck yourself?
Both of them. Go fuck yourself. We're ending this. Then what do we do? What's
Well,
the
at
next
least-
step?
See, because until now, I'm not convinced that the U.S. cannot do the same thing that they did in Iraq and they did in Bangladesh, which is like a task force. Do you actually want to target Hamas? Okay. Ask the U.S. to help you catch all of Hamas. I'm actually with the ICC. If you're telling me right now, hey, let's hold them all accountable, I'm with it. Take Hamas, take Benjamin Netanyahu and like his far right government, to the ICC. Let them all like hold trial for what they did. I'm with that. I'm with it.
By the
Look
way,
at
for
the
the chat,
ICC.
so you could see what exactly we're talking about, I am referring to this picture that is being used by Boss Clips as his profile picture. I find it intensely gross. He's making light out of what is a literal genocide, in my opinion, and Asol's trying to talk with him.
Based on, I want to ask Azel. Azel, do you think I'm trying to make light of it, or I'm actually trying to?
I don't think
you
you're trying to. You are, whether or not you intend to do so.
I didn't ask you. I didn't say Amender. Do you think? I'm asking Azel because Azel, do you feel that I'm trying to make light of something, or I'm actually trying to give something of substance that I feel, whether you think I'm right or wrong, am I just trying to give something of what I feel is substance?
Okay. In Boss Clip's defense, I don't think Boss Clip intentionally want them to suffer or is making joke of the people who are dying there. I think he thinks this is what the best solution to go forward. I think this is what Boss Clip thinks. But we gave you many arguments to show otherwise, and it's very dangerous that you leave this plan with the same people that have been bombing them all these years. Do you see what I'm saying here?
Yeah, I can see what you're saying, but I just want Amender to address the fact that I'm not trying to make light out of this.
You don't have to try to make light. You can be making light unintentionally. Right? Have you ever said, for example, an off-color joke that everybody responded negatively towards?
Have I ever done that?
Yeah.
What do you mean off?
Have you ever made an off-color joke that everybody in the room responded negatively towards?
I've made a bad joke that people responded negatively towards.
Okay, so it is possible for you to make something maybe you don't really fully realize the negative implication of, and you kind of rethink your position on it. Right? You go, okay, maybe.
So it's not applicable.
What? It could be a statement. It could be a joke. It doesn't matter.
Well, just because people get mad about something doesn't make me wrong, though.
But you're saying
people get mad at you all the time for the shit you say. It doesn't make you wrong.
Okay, I just think it's horribly insensitive what you're doing, and we're telling you why it's horribly insensitive, and you're doubling down.
No, I actually, based on what Asa was saying, I somewhat agree with some of what he's saying. I agree. Let's feed them. Let's try to
remove the picture.
Hold on, and let's try to make peace, right? And then if that doesn't work, I only see the one solution.
Remove the picture. It's insensitive.
Mender, here, I'll give you something, okay? I'll give us both an out here. You donate to the starving children, and I'll remove the picture.
I have no idea what the hell this is.
Worst case scenario, a starving child gets to eat. Worst case scenario, that's it. Best case scenario, they get to eat. I remove the picture. It's all good, right?
This is stupid.
What? All that would happen out of this is that you donate to a starving child. I'll remove the picture right now if you say that you'll do it. You don't have to.
You're
do
not
it right
addressing
now.
the problem.
I feel like I did.
No, you're not. Not at all.
Me and Azel
not at all.
talked about it, and I've came to a conclusion with Azel, which
So just to be clear, right? You're not removing
beneficial.
that picture. Just want to be clear, right?
Are you going to donate to starving children?
All right. So if I don't donate to starving children, okay, that means that that you're not removing the picture.
How much does he have to donate again?
Yeah, just $10. $10. That'll feed probably I don't know, let's say 10 starving children, maybe more.
Amanda, if you send $10, I'll give you 50.
What?
You want them? You just want Amanda to donate 10, yeah? Amanda, if you donate, wait.
All right, I'll change it.
I donated 50 bucks. Right? I donated 50 bucks to the PCRF. Done. I don't want to see that fucking picture again.
All right, I
All
changed it.
right?
All right, you
No
proved me
more.
wrong.
I'll be right back one moment.
You
Don't
proved me
sit
wrong,
there
I
and make
changed
light over what's happening. It's not funny.
it. I changed it. You proved me wrong.
Fuck. If anybody wants to call, now's a good time. I missed a call earlier. Almar People says, how the fuck are they blocking aid? This is so sad. Yeah, it is sad. It should never happen. Right? And sitting there watching fucking stupid Trump saying stupid things like, based Trump Gaza. And listening to people that are arguing in favor of genocide right here on my own YouTube channel. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. It shouldn't exist. I'm getting a phone call.